Good afternoon. Welcome work for your Hammers headlines. This, of course, is an association for at Knees Up Mother Brown, KUMB. Make sure you do go and check them out. They are our good partners. So great channel forum as well. So you'll always get very good West Ham content. And if you haven't already, go and check out our West Ham Daily earlier on, where I talk about some of the potential incomings and outgoings at West Ham. There's lots going on at West Ham, especially now we've got literally 6-7 days to go until the transfer window does close. So what do you do before that? You subscribe to this channel. There is a button somewhere. You click it. You click subscribe. It helps us out. Then you leave a comment, give us your honest feedback. You hit the thumbs up if you're enjoying the content. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, then you can also click on that as well. So let's get started straight into it for the first story of today, and that could be around Harrison Ashby, and could he stay at West Ham? Now, West Ham apparently turned down a bid from Newcastle United for Ashby earlier this month. Now, the 21-year-old Scottish right-back, whose contract is set to expire in the summer, has been subject to a lot of transfer interest from Newcastle earlier this season. They made an unsuccessful bid to sign him back in the summer window. And we understand that, again, they've submitted another bid to bring Ashby in earlier this month. However, West Ham did reject that bid. Now, across all of the performances in the lower development squad, Ashby has only made 6 appearances for West Ham's under-21 side, and he's now played twice for the first team in the Europa Conference League this season, starting in the home win over Viborg back in August and making a substitute appearance in November's win away to FCSB, formerly known as Steaua Bucharest. Now, he wasn't in the under-21 squad to face Manchester United in the Premier League 2 on Friday night, where West Ham did lose 3-2. And there was a lot of speculation saying that Newcastle were looking elsewhere for other recruits in that position. However, from our understanding, they are looking likely to come back into the market to try and tempt Ashby away. But if Ashby is going to be tempted to stay at the club, what would it take to stay at the club? I think, and from what we're hearing, it would be some assurances for the first team. Go back to the summer. He was asking for assurances to come into the first team. He wanted to be part of the first team setup. He's not been around there for a little while. Obviously, paying him up in a new contract means he's going to have to be a profit. You know, the wages that are kicking about there. I don't think it's all about greediness at this level. I think it's all about, you know, having the faith in your ability and stepping up to the plate. And I think Ashby is more than capable of doing it. We all know Russ loves the guy. I really do appreciate what kind of player he is, and think he really would add value to the squad right now. So keep an eye on this one. This one is definitely going to grow lots of arms and legs. Leave your comments in the comment section as well. But we are talking about a youth exodus, and it happened yesterday. Kind of not really necessarily out the blue. We heard through the grapevine that this player, Pierre Ekwah, potentially was going to leave West Ham on a loan deal, but it ended up being a permanent deal on a free. So he appeared to take a swipe at West Ham boss David Moyes after completing his move to Sunderland. He signed a 4.5-year deal with them, and I think it's down to the fact that he was growing frustrated at his reluctance to get time from the academy in the first team. And, you know, Sunderland are getting a little bit more plaudits. Obviously, they play in a lower league for giving the youth more of an opportunity. The one player that I was really gutted about West Ham letting go was Alessi, and he seems to be stepping up right now, albeit it is in a lower league. Now, he did say in the video that was released, it was really nice to see a club still doing that, still trusting young players. It's not just one or two, it's a lot of young players, so I think it's really good. It's really good for football to move forward and for the long-term journey where we want to go. I think this is big for us. Now, the situation with Ekwah is, yes, he's gone on a free, but he was only brought in a couple of summers ago, and he was brought in on a free deal back then. Now, the situation with Ekwah was, I remember at the time talking about the deal to bring Ekwah, and I thought it was a good deal. West Ham were scouring all over the UK, trying to find the best talent that maybe we're going to let go or get released from their clubs. Let's look at the Declan Rice situation. He got let go from Chelsea. Look what West Ham have done, put an arm around him and brought the best out in him. Now, the situation is, at the time, lots of West Ham fans were pissed off over the deal because it meant that players like Nathan Holland were going to go further down the ranks, and any of the people that had been there long term were going to go down the ranks. West Ham went and bought Pierre Ekwah, Armstrong Okaflex, and a few other players in the older category of the youth development. and that didn't go down too well. However, there was a lot of plaudits for this player. So I saw him a couple of times, obviously playing, but also at training when they were up at St Andrews, got really close and personal with the team. He's a big unit of a guy, central midfielder, etc. But I did see a couple of friendlies that he played in the first team, and I wasn't actually enamoured by him. Now, that's not saying that I'm saying this is a great deal for West Ham. But the big issue is, if you said to me Pierre Ekwah or Alessi, I'd be more gutted about Alessi because he came up through the ranks from the start. And that's the one that I was gutted about more. So Ekwah's gone. He's made a dig at West Ham and he's gone for a free. Not the best of business, but he's not really played a lot in the first team. And so be it. He's gone. So wish you all the best and adios, amigo, as we move on to the next story. And that is all about this man, Darren Randolph. I mean, who remembers Darren Randolph? Well, we do recently because he's been featuring a little bit more than regular on the substitute bench. Apparently, he's in talks with Bournemouth, or West Ham are in talks with Bournemouth over a permanent deal. Now, he's 35 years old. He's only 6 months left on his present deal at the club, and he could leave permanently this month. And should he leave, he'll become the second major exit for West Ham after Craig Dawson left to join Wolves earlier on in the season. Now, Bournemouth are in talks with West Ham over a permanent signing, and because he's entered into his final 6 months, what would that mean for West Ham? Clearing out not the dead wood, it's a bad thing to say, but he's not getting game time, so he'll be earning a reasonable contract. Can we generate a fee? We may get something for him, and that will help. Now, he's got a lot of experience, but he's not played much for West Ham since joining us back in 2019 from Middlesbrough. In 4 years of his stay at the club, he's only managed 10 appearances. He's approaching the wrong end of his career, although keepers do tend to go on a bit longer, but it is his second spell at West Ham, and in his first spell he joined West Ham from Birmingham, made 42 appearances for the club over 2 seasons, and he joined but you know, it looks like the Bournemouth thing could happen, and if it does, I wish him all the best. I think he's been a patient goalkeeper with West Ham. He's been there, done that, wore the t-shirt, gone the rounds, and if he does go, we've got to wish him all the best. And what that meant was that West Ham, in preparation for this deal, recalled Joseph Anang from Derby County, and if this is going to happen, then he is going to find himself getting more opportunities, whether that's going to be on the bench or not. So this is one that I'm really intrigued to watch moving forward. Keep an eye on it. Take it easy, everyone. Come on, you Irons.